guys, it's Jay from ASMR for Nerds. I hope you guys are in good spirits. Christmas is approaching. Hanukkah is happening. And I don't know when Kwanzaa is, but if you celebrate that, I hope it's nice and you're around friends and family and all that. And if you're not, it's okay. Hang out with me here. So yeah, today we're gonna continue our Infinity Gauntlet reading. Here I have my Infinity Gauntlet issues. I got this full set here at Comic-Con last year. So you can see I have two of the number ones. But I'm going to put these aside for now because we have yet to finish this trade. I also have these, again, continuing with the holiday candy theme. These, candy cane Hershey Kisses. I'll be having a couple of these while I read. So, let's open one up real quick. Okay. So we're going to have to flip through. Let's just do a quick recap. I also have my tracing pencil here. So where we last left off, Thanos was going around the universe collecting the Infinity Gems. This was after he took Silver Surfer around, explaining his intent. His intent being to wipe out much of the universe because of basically overpopulation. And he's doing this to appease Death, who he is in love with. So, we got through half of the Thanos Quest story. Let's just read who worked on the Thanos Quest story. So we have the legendary Jim Starlin as the writer, Ron Lim as the penciler, John Beatty, inker, Tom Vincent, colorist, Ken Brusanak, letterer, Craig Anderson, editor, Renee Witterstoddard, assistant editor, and Tom DeFalco, editor-in-chief. So here, we already read this in the last video. Remember this page? So first gem that Thanos gets. So the first gem he gets is from the In-Betweener, who is in this prison in the nexus of reality. Thanos outsmarts him, gets his gem, has him trade his gem in order to teleport him to a place. And then here is when Thanos goes to basically a battle planet and fights the champion, who is basically just like a super powerful fighter type guy. And from him he gets the power gem. Okay, and next. The next gem is in the possession of the gardener, who had the time gem, and he was using this to make his garden grow quicker. Thanos outsmarts him as well. You forced me into doing what I did. I had to be faithful to my nature. After all, I am Thanos. So, this is where we are in the story. Thanos still has a good number of Infinity Gems to go after. So we're going to finish the Thanos Quest. And if there's time, we will jump right into Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Or maybe I'll show you the issues, and then the next video we will start with the Infinity Gauntlet story. So, here is the Thanos Quest. It says, 6 soul gems. They contain the power to control the universe. But can they give Thanos that which he desires most? Okay, let's take a look. Yes, of course. Thanos of Titan here. I take it that you have been expecting my call, which means you have been monitoring my activities, correct? Yes, ever since your encounter with Champion. Then you know what I am after. You want my soul gem. I prefer to call them Infinity Gems. Collector, in the past we have had the odd occasion or two to work together. Because of this, I am inclined to be generous with you. I fully intend to gain all my desires, but have no wish to cause your death in the process. That seems somewhat out of character for you, almost humane. So, real quick, if you're recognizing the name The Collector, and say maybe you don't read comic books, but you watch the movies, The Collector was in the movies played by, I believe, Benicio del Toro. He was the one that had Howard the Duck captured. Basically, he just collects very rare items from the Marvel Universe. And here he has possession of an Infinity Gem. Perhaps I'm going soft in my twilight years. As I recall, you have been known to barter certain items for your collection, for even rarer tidbits you crave. That is so, even though it breaks my heart to part with any of my lovies. then you should know that I will soon come into possession of something you'll most certainly wish to add to your menagerie. Something you will gladly trade even for your Infinity Gem. That item would have to be something truly unique for it to take the place of my Soul Gem. It is. I shall be getting back to you on this matter, unless the collector gets back to me first, which will mean he has unlocked the secret of his own Infinity Gem, that he knows how to use its power. If that be the case, I will have little chance of surviving the collector's response to my offer. Perhaps this was a foolish move on my part, senseless bravado, but it was also the surest way of getting into the truth. Some prizes demand taking great risks. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I wait. Thanos is waiting in space on his stone throne. Nothing, just as I expected. Despite his great power, metaphysics have never been the collector's strong suit. All goes according to plan, which means my next step is using my craft's sensors to trace the unique vibratory patterns of the elder known as the Runner. Trace complete. Coordinates set into the guidance system. Institute teleportation procedures. My fourth Infinity Gem is almost within my grasp. Or is it? This is definitely the sector of space in which my instruments indicate the Runner should be found. So where is he? Not enough, Titan. I believe I have, Runner. I had no idea you were that quick on your feet. Yeah, sometimes I amaze even myself. And you know why I'm so fast? It's because of this beauty right here. The Grandmaster warned me you'd be coming for it. Yes, I was always fast, but I never really knew what speed was until I got this little purple darling. Now I sometimes arrive at where I'm going before I even realize I've started running. Now that's fast. I'm quicker than thought, faster than light. I'm the speediest damn thing in the whole universe. Are you now? Shall we test that theory? That was a big mistake, Titan. As he runs circles around him. The Elder disappeared into the depths of the ether in the blink of an eye. Never have I witnessed such speed and maneuverability, and what remains of my instrumentation shows that his speed has at least doubled by the time he turns back my way. He runs through Thanos. Face it, Thanos, old boy. There's nothing under the stars that can lay a finger on me. I'm just too fast. Need any further convincing? No, I am a believer. Then here's the deal, Purple Puss. You can either tell me why you're so hot to get your hands on all those soul gems, or I could beat you to death at super speed. talking or being turned into grape jelly. Which is it going to be? I'll tell you everything. I discovered the true nature of the gems while gazing into the infinity well. It was a well-kept secret for over 1,000 billion years. The gems come from before all recorded time. They were once a single unit, a lone entity. They were a sentient being of limitless power. At the time, this being was the only living thing that existed within any and all realities. It was all that was, and all that was it. This being was infinity and forever. No one would fault you if you were to call it God. What other name would fit? But I doubt it ever had a name or any use for one. For that it was more alone than any being has ever been. All that was, already part of itself there, and was no other in its life. A more desolate existence is beyond imagination. I believe that is why it chose to put an end to itself. But such power does not give up the ghost easily. From its ashes rose all that is currently reality, in all its many forms. The core of this being's might was reincarnated in the form of the 6 infinity gems. They are the ultimate in power, the darkest secret in all the universe. It was by mere chance that I happened upon it while studying the well's depths. Can you believe it? The greatest secret of the ages sitting out in plain sight for eons, waiting for someone to notice it. Why such power under my control? I might sit at death's side as her equal. Such a touching ambition, coming from such a dreary fellow. Pity it's a dream that will never be fulfilled, at least not by you. The secret of the infinity gems is now mine alone. I think not. How did a fool like you ever gain immortality? By being the best at what I do, namely running. And by being the sole survivor of one of the first sentient races spawned by the universe. Well, it certainly wasn't for thinking, was it? The only intelligence you've exhibited so far is realizing your speed was the only thing that could save you from me. A strategy provided to you by the Grandmaster, no doubt, but you still couldn't resist stopping the gloat once you thought me defeated. The thought. Not all weapons are something you would recognize as such. Such deadly toys appear to be nothing but harmless baubles. Usually they are the most dangerous type of weapon. Infinity gems, the gardener's controls time. He was able to somewhat tap into the power without they truly realizing it. It was a subconscious act, much the way you were able to utilize your gem. Your gem didn't make you faster. It allowed you to subconsciously manipulate space. That's why you sometimes arrived at a destination before you realized you were even heading for it. It's called mental teleportation. Of course, that's only a part of what this wondrous jewel is capable of. But you're not listening to any of this, are you? You can't hear a word I'm saying. One of the disadvantages of old age, thanks to the power of the gardener's infinity gem. Tell me, runner, how does it feel to be more than 1,000,000 years old? You elders aren't quite as immortal as you imagined. Greatly decelerated aging. Nothing more. Still mortal, though. You could remain like this for, another few billion years. This is a rough way to discover such a fact, isn't it? But don't worry. I will not leave you in so sorry a predicament. You will be more used to me in a much younger form, from one extreme to another. In this state, more to your liking. You know, Runner, you appear to have been a pleasant enough child. A pity you grew into such a rotter. Maybe you'll turn out better this second time around. But do not fret, child. We are heading off on a little trip, going to visit your Uncle Collector. Of course, the Collector's ready for me, all set to blow this Titan to atoms the moment I appear outside his floating treasure house. That's why I decide to teleport directly inside the installation instead. You can turn down your defense screen, Collector. It is a terrible waste of energy and would not have stopped me if I had decided to confront it. So I see. What have you there? A prize of great value and extreme rarity. A treasure I'm willing to trade for an infinity gem. Do you not recognize your fellow elder, the Runner? Unbelievable. You had best believe it. Terribly vulnerable in this condition, is he not? A person could do just about anything they wished to with such a helpless babe, including adding him to a collection of rare beings. Like the one you have aboard this ship, I would imagine possessing your very own elder would make for the growing touch on such a grouping. A tempting thought. So which is it to be, Collector, barter or battle? Your answer, Elder. I will accept the deal under one condition. That a promise of non-interference in my existence accompanies the child. You have my word on that, Collector. And as you now know, Thanos always honors his pledges. So I've heard. Come to me, child. You'll find your treasure, Thanos, in yonder display case. It's not a very good bargain you've struck this day, Titan. I've studied that trinket through every scientific means available, and it is my considered opinion that it's nothing more than a worthless hunk of polished glass. I'm not surprised to hear you say that, old friend. To open this jewel's hidden secret requires great imagination. Something a collector of trivia could be sorely lacking in. The magnitude of this gem's power is not something you would have accidentally stumbled upon, or even easily grasped mentally. My guess is that more than one mind has been shattered contemplating this trinket. The potential is beyond the scope of most intellects. This gem can control reality. Here is Thanos floating. As he's, I guess, changing reality. Allow me to demonstrate a mere iota of this might. Humbling, isn't it? I had it in my possession all this time, and take it away from here, please. Gladly. Now only the Grandmaster's Infinity Gem remains to be brought into the fold. He'll not be as easily duped as I was, Titan. No, I anticipate him being my most difficult adversary. That is why I have saved him for last. It's a conflict I must now hasten to. But before I go, there is something I should tell you. That spell of infancy I placed on the runner, its effects are only temporary. You are going to add me to that filthy collection of yours, weren't you? I bid you farewell, elders. You two-bit weaseling garbage picker, I'll show you. May all your differences be small ones. Listen to reason. Boop. The Grandmaster, the strategist supreme, no longer need he monitor my comings and goings. He knows fully well what my next destination is, and he's more than ready for me. He is the champion gamesman, has spent 1,000 lifetimes devoted to nothing but this contest, or the contest. Throughout the centuries, he has honed his talents as every game of chance and skill ever created. His nerves are ice, his mind capable of devising the most complex of strategies, and he has power, great powers all his own. I know he has arranged things so that I will have to deal with him on the level of his choosing. After all, he is the Grandmaster. Greetings, Thanos. Greetings, what will the game be? Just gonna get into another one of these. So far, I hope you guys are into the story. I know it's hard to stay awake during these ASMR videos. I almost never do, but maybe you're watching this over several nights. I'm hoping you have a chance to pay attention to a good amount of it, because as far as I think, it's been great so far. It just really gets real good. So now it is Thanos trying to get the last Infinity Gem from the Grandmaster. Are you not the least bit interested as to why you must match wits with me in order to acquire your final objective? No, but I suspect you are going to insist on telling me nonetheless. Most definitely. To begin with, there awaits the prize you desire. That is a pan-dimensional transporter the gem floats above. Several layers of force shielding protect the gem and the transporter from theft and or tampering. Most impressive. It gets better. If even one of those shields is breached, the transporter is programmed to go into immediate operation. Continuous random destination selection. The gem will be instantly teleported to an unknown location. A location I won't be able to trace through the transporter because it will self-destruct as soon as it completes its function. You catch on quickly, Titan. And of course you realize the transporter is set to activate should anything interrupt my organic vital signs, which are being constantly transmitted to it, naturally. So in other words, I must play your silly game or forget about ever gaining the 6th gem. You'll soon just see just how silly this game really is. The transporter is programmed to shut down in the event I lose our little encounter. In the contest, a quasi-military experience set on a mental plane of existence. This is where Jim Starlin really lets his imagination go nuts. Each contestant will be equipped with an identical suit of battle armor. A kill shot will immobilize the loser and terminate the game program. I take it you're willing to put up your 5 soul gems as a wager in this contest, just to make things more interesting. Why not? I do not plan on losing. I've placed the gems in a stasis field that will deactivate them in the event of my death. I always like to play for the highest stakes possible. Before we don our headsets, have you any further questions? It all seems simple enough, childishly simple. Then shall we begin? Ready anytime you are. I must admit, the program is much more sophisticated than I imagined it would be. I can swear the battle armor I wear is real and not some computer-generated illusion. And the gaming arena is equally impressive. Like all the Grandmaster's fantasies, it has no link with reality, but nonetheless has a reality of its own. I also realize in a flash that the Grandmaster has lied to me. I sense the truth of the program. A kill shot will not just immobilize, it will actually kill. Kill as truly as if the shot were taken on the plane of reality. Am I surprised? Not at all. I expected no less from the Grandmaster. The stakes we play for are astronomical. In his place, I would have done the same. The Grandmaster wastes no time with preliminary jousts. He immediately goes for the throat. But I have played this game 1,000 times back in the real world. I know the rules and know how to break them. And like the Grandmaster, I realize the best defense is a strong offense. Unfortunately, the Grandmaster also appreciates the value of strategic retreat. His aerial assault admittedly catches me off guard. Some old tricks are still as effective as the first time they were ever used. Years of experience immediately warn the Grandmaster of the mistake he has made, but it is too late for him to do anything about it. Checkmate. A cliche to the very end. As the dust settles, I usually loathe cheating an opponent, Thanos. But the stakes were just too damn high, and you're too dangerous an enemy to trifle with. That's why I sabotaged your weapon systems before the game. It's a silicon-based fungus you're encased in. It will permeate your entire being within moments if it hasn't already. You see, I do have begun to realize the true potential of the soul gems, and have desired their power. Of course, my studies were nowhere nearly as far along as your own, but your recent actions confirmed my suspicions concerning the gems. So I did nothing to interfere with your taking the jewels from my fellow elders and the in-betweener. It saved me the trouble of having to go after them myself. I hate travel. But I expect I'll find it more tolerable now that the 6 soul gems are mine. For that I thank you. And to his surprise, Thanos was a robot. No, it can't be. We had figured all the odds, worked all the angles, thought out every possibility. But in some games that just isn't enough. Elders are not the only ones capable of cheating. Of course, with the 5 Infinity Gems in my possession, I could have taken the 6th from the Grandmaster in any of 1,000 ways. But this method was surely the most enjoyable. The Grandmaster was an idiot for not keeping the gem on his person. He must have surely known its power. It would have told him that it was a robot facing him across the gaming table. For that it is Infinity Gem's talent. It is a doorway into the mind. But the Grandmaster's ego got the best of him when he decided to count solely on his gambling abilities. He lived the gambler's life to the last. After all in all, I am afraid the Elders proved to be a pretty ineffective and stupid lot. Now this is when Thanos basically goes on this psychedelic trip, kind of, once he gets all the stones. This is some of my favorite moments in all comic books. So let's take a look here. But the glorious ends more than make up for the tedious means it took to gain them. Mind, soul, reality, time, space, power. So much more than even the cosmic cube gave me. All mine. I control it all. The universe belongs to me. The time gem. With it I could reach back into the primordial past, or delve into the far or distant future. Nothing that ever was or ever will be can hide from my inspection. Okay, so real quick, this is when he goes one by one explaining the powers of each Infinity Gem. This is the time gem, as you can see. There is baby Thanos as he gets older and older and older. And if I find anything which offends, I can modify it to fit my every need or want. Infinity is clay waiting for me to mold it. So that's the time gem. The space gem. Distance becomes a mere intellectual concept. I consider the possibility, and I am there. I could be everywhere or nowhere. Space is mine to do with as I wish. The very heavens will rearrange themselves to conform with my sense of aesthetics. I foresee a new universe on the horizon. The mind gem. No thought shall remain a secret to me. Every mind is mine to open and examine. I can reach out and feel the dreams and aspirations of every living being in the entire universe. They touch me but do not affect me, for I am Thanos, far above such concerns. Billions of fertile minds waiting for me to sow the seeds of my own perceptions and goals. A universe of thralls. The gem of power. It backs the might of the other 5 jewels of infinity. This beauty makes all things possible. It draws strength from the ends of infinity. It enables thought to become reality. It is the glue that holds what is in place. But it is also the tool that allows the five to sculpt existence in any manner I choose. With it I need fear nothing. The Soul Gem. Once Adam Warlock used it reluctantly to steal the souls of his enemies. Like all mortals, he was a fool. He had no idea what wonders this jewel can accomplish. As with the other gems, this is a tool of manipulation. With it, the very core of what life is can be twisted and bent to my fancy. With naught but a thought, I could transform a race of peaceable sentients into a barbaric horde of cannibals. I can turn sinners into saints and saints into monsters, and they're dead, and the dead, their souls are also within my control. The Reality Gem. How can one explain the inconceivable? Few rational minds can grasp the myriad actualities possible. Heaven or hell, mine to choose. Scientific laws are within my power to repeal. Facts lose their meanings because they no longer have to be. I dream, and it will be. And what I wish to be is by the side of. Surely you sense the change within me. How could you not? I am power, never dreamt of by even one such as yourself. Thanos stands before you as a force to be reckoned with. I now exist on a plane above all care. No longer need I fear even the chaos and order, for they are nothing but part of what I am in control. All that is slave to my whim. I am reality. I am infinity. I am the Almighty. My mistress wishes to inform you that she completely understands your words and actuality. But she must also comprehend why I did all this. I did it for her. I loved and still do love my mistress, but I could not be content to be merely a slave. One such as her deserves a lover who is her equal or better. My venture was never meant to be a threat to her. She is my lady and I love her above all else. My only wish is to be her consort and sit at her side as an equal. Mistress Death says that Lord Thanos' every wish is her command. Your throne. She made another throne for him. We will spend an eternity of bliss together, my love. You will see. My mistress wishes to inform you. If that is what you wish, that is what will be what is. Why do you still address me through your minions? I am your mate. You will talk to me directly. My mistress wishes, with all due respect, to point out that the newly acquired power you are not her equal. You are her superior in all ways. You are many stations above her. She is but a thread in the fabric that is yourself. It would be unseemly for even Mistress Death to address the all-powerful directly. so he makes him explode. I could force her to speak directly to me. I have the power to bend even her to my will. But what good would that do? That's not the way I wanted it to be. I desire her love, not her blind subservience. How could I have miscalculated so badly? Thanos, the master schemer and deceiver. I set out on a quest beyond the reach of any but myself, an impossible mission, and I succeeded at it. I have wrestled the reins of power from the hands of the Supreme Being. No sentient could ever dream or hope for more than I have accomplished. Who could have guessed that becoming God would prove to be such a hollow victory? And that is the conclusion of the Thanos Quest. So, Thanos has all Infinity Gems in his possession. And he goes back to Death, who he is in love with. And she is treating him not as a lover would, but as a servant would. And that is upsetting to him. So, what is this here story? I don't recall this. I guess it's somewhat important, so let's read it. The Final Flower by Archie Goodwin, Scott Edelman, Mike Zeck, Susan Fox, Petra G. The planet is distant, its name unpronounceable. The petals are sacred, the last of their kind. The players are Thanos he who would be God. How easily these priest kings fell. It's a pity that there is so little challenge in this most meaningful task. And the destroyer who will not allow it. That's Drax. That's what Drax used to look like. The same Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy. The destroyer has found his prey in the midst of crushing a world spirit. By killing the thing it loves the most, the caretakers Thanos murdered found peace in sacrificing their lives, attempting to protect the final flower. As soon as I smash this religious relic, this planet's opposition to me will wither as. Restrain your celebration, Thanos. It is for this world to rejoice. Take another bite of this. For today, you die. You may have caught up with me once more, fool. But that does not mean that this assault will be any more successful than your last. Unseen, unnoticed, the pilgrims come to pray. Empty words, Thanos, yet if we must speak, then let it be of power. Power. Your power is useless. Come, daughter, our 6-month journey is almost at an end. I envy you, girl, to see the final flower while still so young. Useless? Never. I exist only to see you die, and for as long as I live, your eventual death is a certainty, and you shall live no longer. As an entertainment, you fascinate me, but I will not let you interfere with my plans. And as an antagonist, you have begun to bore me. Mother and daughter round the bend, and step right into a nightmare. No, it is blasphemy. This sacred seedling desecrated by a monster. It must not be. You fiend, what matter of creature are you who could? Mother, no, he'll hurt you. Don't make him angry. Angry insect, you possess not the power of anger, Thanos. The power to anger, Thanos. And madam, I am a creature who could without complication take your soft tender flesh and do this. Mother, help me, my child, no. As mother and daughter plunged to their doom, images of another mother and daughter flit through the destroyer's mind. Images of his wife and child, killed by Thanos many years past, during the destroyer's previous lifetime as Art Sampson. Suddenly he knows that even if Thanos escapes, even if he must momentarily abandon his purpose for the first time, the fool, and now it is done, steps on the flower. Oh, the destroyer has not yet finished with you, Thanos. Destroyer, after letting me go so easily, you still dare to use that name. Thanos beams back to a waiting spacecraft, leaving naught but the echoes of his mocking laughter. You should have killed him. He crushed the flower, the last sacred bloom. You should have let us die, but I could not, for then would I not have been as evil as Thanos. So here is the Infinity Gauntlet. These are the stories afterwards. So there's the Infinity flip-throughs of these just to get a basic idea. And then maybe we'll read the end. Okay, so guys, that is it. That's it for today. Let's just read the back here. The quest that led to Infinity Gauntlet begins here. Can the Silver Surfer, Drax the Destroyer, and others stop the cosmic iconoclast before he uses reality as a token of his affection for death? Special guest appearance by the Impossible Man. So what we have read so far in this is Silver Surfer 34 through 38 and Thanos Quest 1 and 2, written by Infinity architect Jim Starlin and illustrated by frequent collaborator Ron Lim. That's a great team. So that was the conclusion of the rebirth of Thanos story and Thanos Quest. Now, real quick, let's just take a look at each of these. So, I'll do this again when we have our next next Infinity Gauntlet video, but I'll just show you guys. What I have is, although I know it's not worth the most anymore, but this is some of my favorite parts of my comic collection, only because this is like my favorite story since I was a kid and everything. So I'll take out one issue here, because I have one issue that's in basically mint condition, this one, and this one is high grade, definitely high grade, but there is a little wear on it. There's a little bending, a little up on top, just a very little damage. This side, maybe a touch of damage, a little spine stress. And if we open it up, we'll see that the inside is basically perfect condition. So I would say this is maybe very fine, maybe an 8-ish, 7.5. The back cover has a little more wear, so yeah, this might just be in a very good condition. But this is the issue we'll do our reading from, because I'll show you my other one. So this copy is in near mint condition, if not mint. Really no damage whatsoever. I don't know if you can see, but all corners are perfect. The top even. There's just nothing wrong with it. Let's just take a look at the rest of these covers. So this is the Infinity Gauntlet number 2. If you haven't read it, then this won't make any sense, but it will once we get to it. There's a bearded Thor. In this time in Marvel Comics, Thor wasn't the same Thor. Okay, next. Number 3. That's a classic cover. Look at all the heroes on there. We have Adam Warlock. Again, these other issues, I bought these in a collection at Comic-Con in 2014. They were the best, highest quality copies I've ever seen, so I bought them. So yeah, we have, let's see if I can name them all. We have Adam Warlock, Nova, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Silver Surfer, Pip the Troll, Vision, I believe that's Quasar, Thor, Namor, Drax, I believe that's Cloak, Wolverine, Spidey, Captain, Scarlet Witch, Cyclops, Doctor Doom, the Hulk, and this is, I was gonna say Wave Rider, but that's a guy from DC Comics who looks just like him. I forgot who this guy is. Oh, the worst. Alright, so that's number 3. It's a great cover. Talking about great covers. Come and Get Me. This is the Infinity Gauntlet number 4, again in perfect condition. Infinity Gauntlet number 5. These are all the cosmic beings. Chaos and order. Forgot, what's his name? These are the Celestials. I forgot this guy's something strange. The Stranger, yeah. And this is number 6. We have Nebula, Thanos' daughter, choking him. The final battle. That's it, guys. So, looking forward to getting into the real meat of the story, the Infinity Gauntlet story. I'll probably do a reading of maybe 2 or 3 issues per video. Maybe we could get through all 5, I'm not sure, but why rush it? This is one that's really worth taking the time to read. Again, I think it's one of the best story arcs in comic book history. So, guys, that's it for now. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you're enjoying my videos. I've been trying to make them at a good clip, so we have one every other night, maybe every couple of nights. It's been a little difficult because the holidays are a bit busy. And I will be taking about maybe a week or a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks off from doing this. As I have just a lot of stuff going on around the holidays, so I hope you guys, I hope that's okay. I'm going to try and make a bunch of videos, so maybe I could upload some in that time so it doesn't feel like I'm not here. I know that for me, the ASMR or ASM artists that I follow, there's a comfort to knowing they're always there. So if any of you feel that watching these videos, no, I'll be right back, but I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm still gonna pump out as many videos this week as I can, so there'll be plenty of content. That's it, guys. So, it's Jay from ASMR for Nerds saying